we have completed five potent forms of devotional service. You know, we have seen the examples of five potent items, how each item delivers different devotees. So we will see that also. Like if you didn't hear the how examples of each item evokes bhava in neophyte also. You know? So Rupa Goswami composes a beautiful metaphor illustrating deity worship. About deity worship, how a deity worship helps a neophyte into a bhava bhakti, can arise bhava bhakti in the neophyte. Examples also we should have, no? Like Rupa Goswami is quoting different examples how each item can produce bhava bhakti in a practitioner, neophyte devotee. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy company of your friends within the material world, then don't look upon form of Krishna. So we have discussed this, you know. So this type of poetic metaphor condemns what it seems to prize and prizes what it seems to condemn. Generally, in this world, people appreciate materialistic relationships, but the real relationship is by, you know, connecting to Krishna. So, how deity worship is doing this? This type of poet, thus it instructs one to see beautiful deity of Govinda in Vrindavan, and thereby become completely indifferent to the attractions of the material world. If somebody is doing deity worship, that can evoke bhava bhakti. If we sincerely follow the restrictions, rules, and regulations. Complete indifference is one of the symptoms of bhava bhakti. We forget even material relationships. You know? If you see in our temple, Rupa Goswami Prabhu, in our NVCC, if you see, he's always, whenever I was doing some service, somehow in every service he will come and oversee things and go away. And exactly when mistake happens, he will be in front. Because his attention is service is going happening or not. It's not like a deity. Deity is not like a only murti. Is not a stone. He's the supreme Lord. We have some affection for him. He's our master. He's our friend. We have relationship. For neophyte, it may be like, okay, superior said, okay. But we have relationship with him. Where the pujari have particularly relationship. So we forget even material relationships when we do deity worship. That's why Grihasthas compulsory deity worship. It is mandatory for every Grihastha. Otherwise, their personal material relationships will overtake even spiritual relationships. So that's why there must be a deity in the home. He is the master. We are not master. All wife, children, mother, father, everybody should serve him. No? Then even relationship with the Lord, like Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, then we will have better relationship than our material relationships. That is the purpose of. Then hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, examples. Here Rupa Goswami composes a similar metaphor calling a friend foolish for having heard the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam and thereby becoming completely indifferent to the wonderful activities of dharma, artha, kama and moksha. जो भागवतम 10th कैंटो सुनता है ये धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष insignificant हो जाता है. That is a symptom that he is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And he got Bhava Bhakti by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. How many of you would like to hear Srimad Bhagavatam classes? Everybody. So we all will get Bhava Bhakti by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the symptom that we have attraction to hearing Bhagavatam? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha को reject करना है. He thus poetically instructs us to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, which is so glorious that even 4 goals of human life are insignificant in comparison. Denunciation of even liberation in characteristics of Bhava Bhakti. Our acharyas even reject Mukti Mukalintanjita. So Mukti is rejected by our acharyas. We don't aspire for even Mukti, but service we aspire. I don't want even my own liberation, but I want my service. That is the benefit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Especially 10th canto. Rupa Goswami thus shows the hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, especially 10th canto, can quickly evoke devotional ecstasy, bhava, even in neophyte. Serving a devotee. What is the example? That is, Srila Rupa Goswami describes the rich devotional sentiments of a devotee in which heart the Lord has appeared. It is very astonishing that since I have seen this personality of Godhead, who has washed my tears of my eyes, there is a shivering of my body, and he has made me a failure in executing my duties, material duties. Since seeing him, I cannot remain silently at home. I wish to go out to him always to meet Krishna. That is a symptom of serving a devotee. This, seeing the Lord, and we get such an ecstasy. Lord seems to exemplify how one can achieve bhava by seeing the form of a Lord. However, actual purport is that associating with devotees who are enriched with devotional symptoms mentioned above has tremendous potency to inspire one's Krishna consciousness. Thus, the verse illustrates the efficacy of serving a devotee. Srila Prabhupada comments that purport of this statement is that as soon as one is fortunate to contact a pure devotee, one must be anxious immediately to hear about Krishna, to learn about Krishna, or in other words, to become fully Krishna conscious. Krishna is not directly coming to you. Devotee is taking you to Krishna. That is the power of association, of devotee. You will forget you would not like material duties. So that is a symptom that you have got bhava bhakti. You will not be very serious for materialistic jobs. One who associates with advanced devotees will quickly become enriched with the symptoms of devotional ecstasy, bhava, such as samutkanta, intense eagerness, and avyartha kalatvam, executing service without a moment wasted. Since seeing him, I cannot remain silently at home. I wish to go to him always. If simply seeing a devotee can bestow such realizations, certainly one will rapidly achieve genuine ecstatic devotion by actually serving a devotee. By seeing devotees who are even IITians, NITians, big jobs they are sacrificing and coming to Krishna. That means what? That is bhava bhakti. They have rejected materialistic things for serving Guru and Krishna. Why? Because without devotee sangha, you cannot get that. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, how it evokes bhava bhakti. It is said that saints have been able to hear vibrating strings of Veena hands of Narada, who is always singing the glories of Lord Krishna. Now this same sound vibration has entered my ears and I am feeling the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gradually I am becoming bereft of all attachment for material enjoyment. So these are all connected. All 5 are connected. It's not like Hare Krishna mantra मतलब साधु संग नहीं रहेगा और भागवत श्रवण नहीं होगी Keval Hare Krishna mantra. All these five are interrelated. No? So here, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, hearing from pure devotee. Example, Narad Muni is singing the glories of Lord Krishna. Even it evoked Bhava Bhakti even in Rukmini Devi also. Rukmini became attracted by hearing from Narad Muni. So if we hear from pure devotee, we get attracted. Hearing holy names from pure devotee. So accompanied by vibrating strings of Veena, hearing Narada's Kirtana causes one become bereft of all attachment for material enjoyment. This complete detachment is a symptom of bhava. Bhava bhakti matlab, Srila Rupa Goswami thus shows the Kirtana. अच्छा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है क्या सबको कोई प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है
कुछ अपडेट नहीं हो रहा है
नो
इसमें।
प्रॉब्लम। भगवत गीता वाला स्क्रीन दिख रहा है इस चैप्टर में।
अच्छा अभी चैंटिंग हरे कृष्ण दिख रहा है ना सबको
नो प्रभु जी।
नहीं
No,
दिख रहा
Prabhuji.
है।
Maybe you can reshare, मतलब stop करके वापस you can share.
अच्छा 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 ओके ओके नाउ यू आर एबल टू
यस प्रभु नाउ पे।
Yes.
so this I am reading from Waves of Devotion. This complete detachment is a symptom of bhava, namely virakti. If you get virakti from materialistic enjoyment, that is called bhava. Srila Rupa Goswami thus shows that Kirtana can immediately evoke devotional ecstasy, bhava, even in a neophyte. Yeah? So how Kirtana will evoke bhava even in neophyte? Residing in Mathura. Srila Rupa Goswami describes beauty of Vrindavan Dham decorated with Yamuna, Kadamba trees, chirping birds and beautiful form of Shyamsundara. Simply remembering this beauty evokes bhava. I remember the Lord standing on the banks of Yamuna river, so beautiful, and Kadamba trees, where many birds are chirping in the gardens, and these impressions are always giving me transcendental relations of beauty and bliss. No, we forget all materialistic. We become so much connected. We become blissful by remembering Vrindavan. Even by remembering, what to speak of going. We are going means how much we are planned. So it evokes, even residing in Mathura, evokes Bhava Bhakti. According to Jiva Goswami, transcendental relations of beauty and bliss. Manasi kamapi bhavam kanana srishtanati indicates mental realizations of one eternal serving mood, Swarupa Siddhi, which occurs during the stage of Bhava Bhakti. Srila Rupa Goswami thus shows the simply remembering Vrindavan can quickly evoke devotional ecstasy, even in neophyte. Simply remembering Vrindavan, which can evoke Bhava Bhakti. Like, once I was hearing from once Radhanath Maharaj, every day before sleeping, he goes to all 6 temples of Vrindavan. Even in sleep also, they will not forget Vrindavan. What to speak of daytime. Yeah? So we can go to Vrindavan, just go in the Dev temple, the Madan Mohan temple, by just remembering. We'll be free from all materialistic things. If simply remembering Vrindavan can cause such powerful realizations, certainly one's transcendental feelings will immediately be aroused by actually being there. Srila Prabhupada says such transcendental feelings are aroused immediately and without fail after one arrives in Mathura or Vrindavan. And somebody may ask, doubt that there are some materialistic benedictions for spiritual activities. आप कभी भी भागवतम में भी देखोगे materialistic benedictions क्यों देते हैं? There, Rupa Goswami is giving right answer. Rupa Goswami explains the results of these items are not our estimations. This spiritual ऐसा नहीं कि ये रिजल्ट्स जो है भावा भक्ति आएगी, ये सिर्फ अज्यूम करो. नहीं, it is really, if you see a neophyte devotee so ecstatic, jumping, dancing, Prabhupada is to tell this मोटा मोटा dance थोड़ी ऐसे होता है. इसे भावा भक्ति, मोटा मोटा डांस बोलते प्रभु. ऐसा मोटा मोटा डांस थोड़ी इमिटेशन होता है. इसे भावा भक्ति. Sometimes advanced devotees will not get. Neophyte with devotee will get. Huh? So, uh, so these are all not imagination. When executed, Bhava Bhakti, these are true in cases and are intended to describe the item's potential for evoking Bhava Bhakti when executed offenselessly. Only one condition. आप हरे कृष्ण जप करो, अपराध मत करो, बस. You will get everything in your life. Under Guru's guidance, if you do everything, your bhakti, Bhava Bhakti is very simple. है ना? आजकल लोग जीबीसी को भी कमेंट करेगा, सबको कमेंट करते बैठेंगे, तो अपराध लग जाएगा, तो टेस्ट कैसे आता है ना? Why people are getting lower taste? Lusty desires, materialistic enjoyment, bungalow, gaadi. Why they are getting that? Due to offenses. They are not relation to bhakti. You know? So sometimes, okay, materialistic benedictions kya hai? That Prabhupada Rupa Goswami is telling. Sometimes the 64 activities are said to reward one with various worldly benedictions. But Rupa Goswami explains that this is simply a way of attracting mundane people to devotional service. And somebody is attracted to some materialistic thing by hearing this, अरे ये करने से मेरे को ये मिलेगा. हाँ? कुछ लोग आता है इस्कॉन में, अरे फॉरेन जा सकता है. मैं जब सैफरन ले रहा था, मेरे पापा को बोला, देखो व्हाइट में रहने से फॉरेन नहीं भेजेगा, सैफरन पहनने से फॉरेन भेज देगा. तो बोला ठीक ठीक ठीक, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Just for that moment to digest this saffron, we have to tell that benediction. But so that is not actual benediction, but simply to make them attracted to. We tell na stress management, time management. Now, people come by seeing that, but we give Hare Krishna. That is how Shastra also does that. If somebody, not only devotees are reading Bhagavatam, ISKCON devotees are only not reading Bhagavatam. Even neophytes are also reading Bhagavatam. For them, it gives ecstasy. Bhagavatam is not meant for only pure devotees or only ISKCON devotees. So to attract the audience are many audience. So the actual result of these 64 activities is Bhava Bhakti. If one is still attracted to materialistic things, means there is some offenses. One should not be attracted. So relation to these 64 items, we related to Varnashram Dharma and Sadhana Bhakti. Yes, Varnashrama Dharma is not pure devotional service. But to reach to pure devotional service, we use Varnashrama. That marriage is not one of the 64 items, what Rupa Goswami is telling. That can be used to come to, but because the anarthas are there and we cannot come to that level, then we can use that Varnashrama to come to pure devotional service. Here, for example, marriage is certainly not one of the 64 items of devotional service. A devotee, however, may enter grahasthashram if necessary to avoid sinful and stay on progressive path. If such a varnashrama activities are aimed at purification for Lord's pleasure, they can be considered a subsidiary item of devotional service. Without being aimed at eventual purification and unalloyed service, surrender, no aspect of varnashrama can be considered an item of devotional service. Can remember this. Even brahmachari, सिर्फ ब्रह्मचारी बनने से प्योर डिवोटी नहीं बनता है. Pure devotee is different and brahmachari is different. Brahmachari is materialistic, varnashram. But Shuddha Bhakti is transcendental to varnashram. We are not recommending people to become brahmachari or grihastha. Both are not that temporary. You have to rise above this varnashram. So, chapter 14. Any doubts on this? So that was remaining, so I covered. Now, if you consider Jnana and Vairagya is not also part of pure devotional service. That also is to help one to come to pure devotional service. That is a medium, but not Jnana and Vairagya are default. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahitukam. Vairagya is not pure devotional service. Jnana is not pure devotional service. That is, to helps us to come to Sattva-guna and Sattva-guna. So, Jnana, cultivation of knowledge, Vairagya, cultivation of detachment, may preliminary help a new devotee to focus on Krishna by freeing him from distracting attraction to sense objects. Jnana and Vairagya may help one focus. However, in practicing Jnana and Vairagya, one's mind is not directly fixed on Krishna. It is absorbed in philosophical discrimination between matter and spirit. What is happening focusing on Jnana and Vairagya? Their mind is absorbed not on Krishna, in philosophical discrimination between matter and spirit. So that is not complete pure devotional service. Fixing the mind on Krishna is the most essential part of sadhana. Since Jnana and Vairagya fail to do so, they are not items of sadhana bhakti. ज्यादा ज्ञान रहने से शुद्ध भक्त बनता नहीं, ज्यादा वैराग्य रहने से शुद्ध भक्त नहीं बनता. That is a default. That is a result of pure devotional service. Further, they may be detrimental to cultivation of devotion. It may become an obstacle, these two, Jnana and Vairagya. So Rupa Goswami warns that Jnana and Vairagya can make the heart harder and harder. Those who are Jnanis, they become so hard, so harsh to everyone. That makes the hard. Powerful lecture, punching. They would like to. With Jnana, through Jnana we smash people. A materially attached person has many emotions that impel him towards sense gratification. Vairagya invokes making the heart callous and indifferent to those emotions so that one will not be moved by them. Bhakti, though, means to please the Lord by one's love for him. If you have attraction to Krishna, this is pure devotional service. To express such love requires soft heart, easily moved by Lord's name, form, pastimes, and qualities. Jnana and Vairagya are not favorable to devotional service because they result in hard, stoic heart. No? So, bhakti means soft-hearted. कोई भी भक्त चीटिंग कर सकते हैं उसको. Yes. डिवोटी को चीटिंग कर सकते हैं कोई भी चीटिंग कर सकते हैं, वो तो इनोसेंट है. But Krishna will not allow you. If you cheat devotee, Krishna will not allow you. But devotee may follow, allow it. But Daksha, he is also Daksha. So bhakti, jnana and vairagya को ज़्यादा stress नहीं करना. Bhakti we have to stress. Love to Krishna. And we should be so innocent. Once Govinda was telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you are embracing a small child. Do you know why you are embracing? What people will think? His mother is widow. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him. Why you are thinking negatively so much? And you are for that you are correcting me. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. You have a right to correct. Don't you think you don't I don't know? Krishna knows everything. But devotee should not be so materialistically understanding things, surroundings. That is not our job. We should not understand materialistically. If somebody is doing it, trying to use devotee for material benefit or something, dharma, artha, kama, moksha and everything, okay, let Krishna handle, na? Let Guru handle. We should be innocent. We should not take the position of Guru. You are not a Guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to correct you. You know? So we should not correct superiors or Guru. When we think I know more better, then only you jnana will make you to correct others. You know? So that's why too much jnana also make you feel like, I know more better than my superiors. That becomes a detrimental for bhakti. And bhakti means soft-hearted. Whatever Krishna tells. Gopis were told to come naked. They are so innocent. So, like Krishna asks to surrender, we should surrender. That's it. The soft-hearted person can do it very easily. Easily moved by the Lord's name, form, pastimes, and qualities. Jnana and Vairagya are not favorable to devotional service because they result in hard, stoic heart. Although process of Jnana and Vairagya are unfavorable to devotional service, the qualities of Jnana and Vairagya are necessary for devotional advancement. If you are attracted to sense gratification, that is negative. So with Jnana and Vairagya, we can disconnect that sense gratification. Without knowledge and detachment, one will be attached to material body and tend to act for the body, not for Krishna's pleasure. Jnana and Vairagya are like neutral. Without Jnana and Vairagya, you cannot come to neutral. But positivity is attraction to Guru and Krishna. That will overcome materialistic pleasures also. But we have to use Jnana and Vairagya to come to neutral. But Rupa Goswami, that's why he said, Yukta Vairagya. To show that detachment and knowledge automatically comes from bhakti. He then imparts his famous Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayunjata Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyate. Rupa Goswami is very famous for this one verse. Yukta Vairagya. We are not rejecting materialistic things, items. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time, he accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. Yukta Vairagya means to accept only those things that can be used in Krishna's service and reject everything else. If Krishna wants us to stay, Guru wants us to stay in bungalow, we need to stay for preaching and everything, but not attached to bungalow materialistic things. It is balanced process of detachment. by which a devotee acquires the qualities of knowledge and detachment without undergoing the heart hardening process, jnana and vairagya. Okay? Yukta vairagya is very important. On this path, emotions are still engaged, thus they do not atrophy, but emotions and activities of Yukta Vairagya exclusively center on Krishna, and therefore effectively extricate one from the mundane sphere and attach one to the Lord. Yukta Vairagya में कृष्णा सेंटर है, फाल्गु वैराग्य में Krishna is not in the center. Not just Vairagya, Yukta Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya, Rupa Goswami then explains that rejecting something which could be used in Krishna's service is Falgu Vairagya. If somebody rejects Krishna conscious part as a Vairagya, that is called Falgu Vairagya. We don't use laptops, mobiles, aisa nahi hai. We use all technology, anything which is wanting for the preaching, we can use. You know. But if we reject anything which is helping us to service to Krishna, that is a Falgu Vairagya. Once, one Mayavadi sannyasi, he was sitting on Vyasasana, and before that seat, somebody has kept some gold coin. Immediately jumped out. No, I don't want to touch money. I don't want to touch materialistic money. But Prabhupada used to tell, give me all currency notes. And he used to embrace that. Take photo. Because I'm going to use this money for Krishna's service, not for my sense gratification. Money is not for our sense gratification. That is Falgu Vairagya, who rejects, who does not touch. Wealth and followers. Performing devotional service through one's wealth or followers is not an item of sadhana bhakti. Basically, giving donation is not a part of devotion. That is not giving. A wealthy person may give large donation to build a huge temple. This is certainly devotional service. However, he should not think that subsequent activities performed there in deity worship, offering prasadam, etc., are his devotional service. Donation is okay, we can accept, but that result is not yours. भगवान की पूजा मेरे वजह से हो रहा है, मैंने प्रसादम स्पॉन्सर किया. If he becomes carried away by this misconception, his impetus for devotional service will slacken. Similarly, spiritual master may train disciples to worship deity. This is certainly devotional service. However, the worship they subsequently perform is their own devotional service, not his. If he does not understand this, his impetus for devotional service may slacken. So we have to go deeper in NOD, nectar of devotion. मैंने ट्रेनिंग दिया, ऐसा नहीं सोचने, ट्रेनिंग देना है बस. Srila Prabhupada says, if a spiritual master is not properly authorized and only on his own initiative becomes a spiritual master, he may be carried away by accumulation of wealth and large number of disciples. गुरु बनना है हमारे को, अगर गुरु आदेश देना चाहते हैं, is a one of the service, not to accumulate wealth and more number of followers. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. If a person is carried away by such achievements, then his devotional service may become slackened. If Guru tells you to give up certain things, we should give up. Once one person made, Radhesham Prabhu gives one example, like 500 devotees, one person made into, brought 500 people to 16 rounder. And Guru was telling to him to not to take the position of management. He could not digest that. I made these 500 people into devotees. How can I don't? No. He gave his Japamala beads to his, returned his beads to his Guru. Can you imagine how much Dhanam Janam Sundari can attract us and take away from Guru also? Can he reject those 500 people and no? Can he give this, submit all these 500 people to Guru? That is devotional service, not attached to Dhanam Janam Sundari. Guru is not meant to make, these are my followers. एक आदमी बागुल में इस्टॉन खोला है, इस्टॉन, इस्कॉन के मैनेजमेंट के विरुद्ध होकर, but he wears same tilak, same saffron dress and everything. It looks like ISKCON, but he's not under ISKCON. He may be chanting Hare Krishna, he may be reading Prabhupada books, he may be worshipping the Radha, Krishna, Gaur Nitai, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Srila Prabhupada. But if you are not authorizedly under ISKCON, that is not devotee. So wealth has a power to distract us from bhakti. So that's why we should be careful. Sometimes we may tell, I gave so much donation to my Guru. Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to tell, by giving donation, you didn't purchase me. No, he used to chastise. So Yama includes activities like ahimsa. The ahimsa is also not part of devotee, but devotional service will automatically bring to ahimsa. Huh? So yama means restraining from passions, including activities like ahimsa, brahmacharya, satyam, etc. These restraints are not items of sadhana bhakti because they do not impel devotion to manifest in the heart. Huh? These are not yama, satyam, brahmacharya, ahimsa. These are not direct pure devotional items. These are result of pure devotional service. On contrary, practice of devotional service impels them to manifest. But yama items like ahimsa, brahmacharya cannot produce bhakti. Bhakti will produce A equal to B, but B is not equal to A. From A, B can be produced, but B cannot produce A. This ahimsa, brahmacharya, satyam cannot evoke bhakti. Bhakti can produce these things. So in NOD, we have to be very, very, very clear. What is pure devotional item? One should be attracted to what? Jnana, vairagya, ahimsa, yama items, ahimsa, brahmacharya, satyam. These are not pure devotional items. Srila Prabhupada writes, a vegetarian is not necessarily a devotee, nor is a non-violent person. But a devotee is automatically both vegetarian and non-violent. We must conclude, therefore, that vegetarianism or non-violence is not the cause of devotion. Huh? So, vegetarianism and non-violence is not the cause of devotion. To affirm this, Srila Rupa Goswami cites the story of a hunter who became a great devotee. You all know, Mrigari. We will read more detail, that also. We will read, Prabhupada writes very nice purport for that Mrigari. We will go through Prabhupada purports. Before concluding this description, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Srila Rupa Goswami explains that devotional service can be practiced by concentrating primarily on one of the items, Ekanga, or by concentrating equally on all items, Anekanga. भक्ति कैसे होता है? एकांग भी होता है, अनेकांग भी होता है। 5 आइटम्स में से एक अंग भी भक्ति कर सकता है कोई, या अनेकांग भी कर सकता है। ऑल्टरनेट, सो एकांग भक्ति, वैदिक एकांग वैदिक भक्ति और अनेकांग वैदिक, ऑल्टरनेट टर्मिनोलॉजी। सम अथॉरिटीज फ्रेज मर्यादा मार्ग एज अल्टरनेट टर्म फॉर वैदिक साधना भक्ति। मर्यादा उल्लंघन नहीं करना है, अपराध नहीं करना है। वैष्णव अपराध इज जघन्य अपराध। Srila Rupa Goswami says that regulative principles of devotional service are sometimes described as authorities as a path of serving the Lord in opulence. So we have gone through this 13th chapter. We will go through purports of Srila Prabhupada, what Prabhupada writes in this. Scholars recommend that knowledge and renunciation are important factors for elevating oneself to devotional service. Can somebody read this yellow part?
Namaste, Prabhu.
Can somebody read?
Hare Krishna,
Ah,
Hare Krishna, yes,
ah,
sir. But actually, that is not a fact. Actually, the cultivation of knowledge or renunciation, which are favorable for achieving a footing in Krishna consciousness, may be accepted in the beginning, but ultimately they may also come to be rejected. For devotional service is dependent on nothing other than the sentiment or desire for such service. It requires nothing more than sincerity.
Jnana, bhakti is not dependent on jnana and vairagya. So it requires sincerity. How much sincere he is in bhakti, that is very important. It is the opinion of expert devotees that mental speculation and artificial austerities of yoga practice may be favorable for becoming a liberated from material contamination. Removing material contamination is not a bhakti. That is liberation. But they will also make one's heart harder and harder. Bhakti is soft-hearted. They will not help at all in the progress of devotional service. These processes are not favorable for entering into the transcendental loving service of the Lord. One devotee was telling, you should quote so many shlokas, you should do that, this. Jnana will not help you to come to bhakti. That is to remove material, that is for making heart purification from material things. But positivity is very important. So, jnana will make us proud. Bhakti will make us soft-hearted, humble. कोई देखो, आपको अगर 700 श्लोक भगवद गीता का कंठस्थ हो गया, क्या आप विनम्र बन सकते हैं कि गर्व बन सकते हैं?
Will be
99,
proud.
huh?
Will be become so proud.
That is not bhakti. Bhakti means humility. Humility in devotional service. Actually, Krishna consciousness devotional service itself is the only way of advancing in devotional life. Devotional service is absolute. It is not both the cause and effect. Yes, sir. It is the both cause and effect. You know, bhakti, chanting Hare Krishna will produce jnana and vairagya also. ज्ञाना किसके लिए चाहिए? हम शास्त्र को, क्योंकि जो आचार्य लोग बता रहे हैं वो समझने के लिए, बट ये नहीं कि मेटेरियलिस्टिक प्यूरिफिकेशन के लिए जो यूज हो रहा है वो भक्ति नहीं. Some people use stress management, time management as a bhakti. No, but name is material, but we are giving bhakti. You know, so jnana and vairagya are very important. How much it is useful and everything. Rupa Goswami and Prabhupada purports are very important. The cause and effect must be devotional service. You know? So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause and effect of all that be, and to approach Him, the absolute process of devotional service, which is also absolute, has to be adopted. Okay, can somebody read this? This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita.
Should I continue? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
continue, bro. Continue.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita by the Lord Himself. One can understand me only through devotional service. In the beginning, His teaching of Gita, the Lord said to Arjuna, "Because you are my devotee, I shall teach these secrets to you." Vedic knowledge means ultimately to understand the Supreme Lord, and the process of entering into His kingdom is devotional service. That is accepted by all authentic scriptures. Mental speculators neglect the process of devotional service, and by simply trying to defeat others in philosophical research, they fail to develop the ecstasy of devotion.
So Krishna is telling Bhaktos me sakacheti rahasya me taduttamam. Not, he is not telling Jnani and Vairagi. Jnani yogi, Dhyana yogi can understand. No. Bhakti yogi only can understand Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is meant to teach bhakti, not jnana, vairagya, or some management principles. These are all useless. This is not the benefit of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is meant to teach pure devotional service. भक्त बनने के लिए भगवद गीता है, कोई मैनेजमेंट के लिए नहीं. So, but devotee is a manager? Yes, devotee is a manager. Bhagavad Gita teaches management, but that is not only management. Default, but actual thing what Bhagavad Gita teaches is bhakti. By seeing the picture of Bhagavad Gita, we can understand. Krishna has become a servant of a devotee. Service. One has to do service by reading Bhagavad Gita. One has to engage the mind and senses in devotional service, not just for accumulating knowledge, jnana. Krishna is telling bhakti means devotional service. Prabhupada is telling. So, mental speculators neglect the process of devotional service. Just preaching मतलब defeat physical philosophy के लिए defeat करो, भक्त बन गया. But bhakti evoke नहीं किया ना. It is like, you have removed all the skin of a coconut and you didn't eat white part of the coconut. What is the use of removing all this? That is meant to eat that white part of the coconut. That is the essence. Bhakti is the essence. Jnana and Vairagya are like skin of a coconut. Radhesham tells. In the 11th canto, okay, there is one, Lord Krishna tells to Uddhava. Can somebody read this?
Akshay Prabhu. Aman Prabhu.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, "My dear Uddhava, for persons who are seriously engaged in my service, the cultivation of
1 minute. साउंड मेरा साउंड ठीक आ रहा है ना?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes, Prabhu.
ओके हाँ read.
My dear Uddhava, for persons who are seriously engaged in my service, the cultivation of philosophical speculation and artificial renunciation are not very favorable. When a person becomes my devotee, he automatically attains the fruits of the renunciation of material enjoyment, and he gets sufficient knowledge to understand the absolute truth. That is the test of advancement in devotional service. A devotee cannot be in darkness because the Lord shows him special favor and enlightens him from within.
So our goal is not to accumulate jnana and vairagya. You know? So philosophical speculation, if he is expert in giving philosophy, he's not a devotee. That is not part of devotion. Huh? So artificial renunciation भी not a part of ब्रह्मचारी रहने से ब्रह्मचारी भी नहीं है ब्रह्मचर्य मैं कभी विचलित नहीं होता हूँ that is not a part of bhakti. When a person becomes my devotee, he automatically attains the fruits of renunciation and material enjoyment. Renunciation of material enjoyment, and he gets sufficient knowledge that Krishna. आजकल लोग सेवा नहीं करेगा सेवा अगर देगा तो चैंटिंग कर रहा है माला बाकी है साधना बाकी है सेवा नहीं करेगा तो कैसे होता है भाई चैंटिंग का मतलब क्या है ना रूम क्लीनिंग नहीं करेंगे आश्रम में सब एम्प्लॉय को रख के क्लीनिंग करना पड़ता है एम्प्लॉय विल गो टू बैक टू अडेड वी विल बी हियर ओनली टेम्पल हॉल क्लीनिंग करते नहीं डिवोटीज मंदिर का भगवान का मंदिर है भक्त लोग बोल रहे एम्प्लॉय को रख के क्लीन कराएगा दैट मीन्स वी लैक सिंसियर डिवोटीज भगवान आजकल पेड पुजारी पूजा करने के लिए एम्प्लॉय रखेंगे और ज्ञान वैरागी के लिए डिवोटी को रखेंगे उल्टा हो जाता है ना वी शुड नॉट गिव एनी सैलरी फॉर डिवोशनल आइटम्स बिकॉज देयर इज लैक ऑफ सिंसियरिटी sincere devotees we should make. They should be satisfied in Krishna consciousness. Okay, read this. Here, 11th canto, again, Lord tells to Uddhava. So there are different examples Prabhupada is quoting and Rupa Goswami is quoting. You read?
My dear friend, the profits derived from fruitive activities, austerities, the culture of philosophical knowledge, renunciation, the practice of mystic yoga, charity, and all similar auspicious activities are automatically achieved by my devotees, those who are simply attached to me by loving service. These devotees have everything at their disposal, but they desire nothing outside of my devotional service. If ever a devotee should desire some material profit, like promotion to the heavenly planets or some spiritual profit to go to the Vaikunthas, by my causeless mercy, his desires are very easily fulfilled.
Even if he has material desires, he should not take the other process, jnana, vairagya, and everything. You know, we should take to devotional service. And whatever, if somebody has, if he is not a pure devotee, Krishna will fulfill those desires and take him to back to Adi. You know, so we should never aspire for our process is bhakti. Bhakti means service. Loving under guidance of spiritual master. जो स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर बताया वही सेवा होता है जो गुरु जो नहीं बताया वो सेवा नहीं है लगता है सेवा जैसा who has instigated that service who gave you that service this matters a lot you know so the bhakti is meant to please Guru and Krishna that's it For his pleasure, I will do. Like Prabhupada used to tell, in Mangalarti time, Prabhupada told you should be with the cement bags. Prabhupada, I am a sannyasi. I should be with cement bags or I should attend Mangalarti. If Guru tells you to stay with cement bags, you should. That is bhakti. You should not think you are more better than Guru. Huh? So if you think more better than Guru, that means you are jnani, not bhakta. So that becomes obstacle for bhakti. Okay? Read.
Actually, a person who is developing Krishna consciousness and still has some attachment to material enjoyment will soon be freed from such a tendency by regularly discharging devotional service under the instruction of a bona fide spiritual master.
No, if according and the guidance of spiritual master, if he is having anarthas, then that service will purify. But if somebody is producing anartha, like pride, envy, offensive mentalities, there is something wrong in his life. He's not following Guru. आदो गुरु पादस्य. गुरु जो बोलेगा वही कृष्ण वाक्य आपके लिए, है ना? So we should it should be very clear. Okay, read.
Srila Rupa Goswami then recommends that one should not be attached to material sense enjoyment, but should accept everything enjoyable which is in relationship to Krishna. For example, eating is necessary and one wants some palatable dishes to satisfy his sense of taste. So in that case, for the satisfaction of Krishna, rather than for the satisfaction of the tongue, some palatable dishes may be prepared and offered to Krishna. Then it is renunciation. Let the palatable dishes be prepared, but unless they are offered to Krishna, one should not accept them for eating. This vow of rejecting anything which is not offered to Krishna is actually renunciation. And by such renunciation, one is able to satisfy the demands of the senses.
If somebody is attached to sense gratification, is a diseased condition. But if he is under guidance of spiritual master, he is following the guidance of spiritual master, he is in the process of taking medicine. Sense gratification is of two types. One devotee who is trying to get purified, and other person who is not endeavoring to. So we should always try to, if for example, I am dirty, now I am taking a shower. That means he is dirty, but he is taking bath, eventually will get purified. Who has guru in bhakti में किसी को गुरु है, गुरु के निर्देशन में कोई कर रहा है. For example, working in software company is a pure devotional service. No, it is a pure devotional service. If he is working under the guidance of Guru, he is eventually getting, he will not be attached to it. If Guru tells you give up that job and take another job, yes, he is not attached, so he will take. So under guidance of Guru, if you do something, that is not material. Arjuna is killing. Killing is a pure devotional service because Krishna said. Huh? So this embody we have to, practical in our life also we have to see what is pure devotional service and what is not. For example, I want to preach in my village. I will go and make one center in my village. Will it be a pure devotional service? Huh? Will it be a pure devotional service if I want to preach in my village?
Authority allows, then it is for devotional service.
Huh?
Authority allows, then it is for devotional service.
If it is sanctioned by our authorities, okay. Now Radhesham Prabhu is his body born in Tamil Nadu, but he is not telling that I will preach in Tamil Nadu. His guru told him to preach here, Pune. He's preaching. You should not be attached to birthplace of our body. That is not pure devotional service. Okay. And anything which is favorable under the guidance, if Guru tells us to work outside and get the salary, we should get for the benefit. So impersonalists, they never, they are, their focus is more on austerities, but they miss to be engaged in devotional service too. Thus, their renunciation is not sufficient for perfection. There are many instances where following such artificial renunciation without any contact with devotional service, impersonalists again fell down and became attracted to material contamination. There are many supposed renouncers, even at present moment, who officially become sannyasis or renouncers and outwardly claim that spiritual existence is truth and material existence untruth. In this way, artificially they make a show of renunciation of material world. However, because they cannot reach the point of devotional service, they fail to achieve the goal. If they are not a devotee, devotional service नहीं है, वो fall down guarantee. Renunciation कितना दिन रही? Bhakti will give renunciation. And they again come back to material activities such as if somebody is doing philanthropical work, political agitation, politics karega, they are not devotees. There are many examples of so-called sannyasis who gave up the world as untruth, but again came to the material world because they were not seeking their real purpose, real repose at the lotus feet of Lord. क्यों फिर से भौतिक प्रपंच में आ रहा है, फिर से सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन, सोशल एक्ट, मेटेरियलिस्टिक एक्टिविटीज क्यों कर रहा है? His aim is not devotional service. One should not give up anything which can be utilized in service of the Lord. That is the secret of devotional service. सिर्फ हम ये डिवोटी नहीं बनना है कि सिर्फ भौतिक चीज को हम त्याग देंगे, renunciation नहीं. You can engage anything under Guru's guidance. Anything that can be utilized in advancing Krishna consciousness and devotional service should be accepted under guidance. For instance, we are using many machines for advancement of present Krishna consciousness movement. Machines like typewriters, dictating machines, tape recorders, microphones, and airplanes. This comes under Yukta Vairagya. We are not using this to earn money. We should not condemn science. We can engage science in devotional service. Why are you utilizing material products if you condemn the advancement of material civilization? But actually, we do not condemn. We simply ask people to do whatever they are doing in Krishna consciousness. This is the same principle on which Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has advised Arjuna to utilize his fighting abilities in devotional service. Similarly, we are utilizing these machines for Krishna service. With such sentiment for Krishna or Krishna consciousness, we can accept everything. If typewriter can be utilized for advancing in Krishna consciousness movement, we must accept it. Similarly, the dictating machine or any machine must be used. Our vision is that Krishna is everything. Krishna is the cause and effect, and nothing belongs to us. जब करोड़ रुपए आता है, देखो, like we give, Rupa Goswami said 50% for donation for Krishna consciousness. If I get 10,000, 5,000, 50,000, 25,000, 1 lakh, 50,000 should give donation. ज्यादा अमाउंट है तो ठीक है, थोड़ा 40,000 दे सकता हूँ. Don't see the quantity, है ना? So whatever acharyas tell, we should do it. You know, so Krishna's, but when we are engaged in material work, by under guidance of Guru, result we should not enjoy. Huh? That is a sign that you are doing for the pleasure of Guru. But if you are attached to the result of the material work, that means you are attached to material work, not attached to Guru. That is a sensitivity we have to follow in Yukta Vairagya. अगर कोई गुरु बोलेगा अभी आप एनवीसीसी छोड़ के थोड़ा वेल्ला में जाओ, ये तो इतना बड़ा बंगला छोड़ के बैठ, हाँ इतना फैसिलिटी, 3 टाइम प्रसाद बढ़िया मिलता है इधर, हाँ एक वाइस डिवोटी बोल रहा था, है ना, वागोली में बोल रहा था इधर क्या है, इधर सब्जी कटिंग करो, कुकिंग करो, कुक ड्यूटी नहीं तो कुकिंग करो, सब करो, मंदिर चले जाएंगे, मंदिर से अप एंड डाउन करो। क्यों? अच्छे इंद्रिय तृप्ति है, अच्छा टाइम में प्रसाद मिलता है। हाँ, प्रचार नहीं करना है, प्रचार करेगा तो है ना कितना मेहनत करना पड़ता है, जाओ उठाओ लड़कों को लेके आओ। हाँ, ऐसे ही लोग डिवोशनल आइटम्स में भी मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट हो जाता है, दे आर नॉट लविंग गुरु। हाउ लॉन्ग दे विल बी लिव लाइक दैट? वन डे टाइम विल कम, they will be slapped, they fall down from their position. So Krishna's things must be used in service of Krishna. That is our vision. This does not mean, however, that we should give up principles of discharging devotional service or neglect abiding by the rules and regulations of prescribed therein. The neophyte stage of devotion, one must follow all the principles regulated by the authority of a spiritual master. The acceptance and rejection of things should always be in pursuance of devotional principles, not that one can independently manufacture some idea of what should be accepted or rejected. The spiritual master as the visible manifestation of Krishna is necessary, therefore, to direct the devotees on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, for example, WhatsApp is a good media for preaching. Can we utilize it? Yeah. Under guidance of spiritual master. Some people are qualified, some people are not qualified. If I am not qualified, voluntarily we should tell the spirit, our authorities, that I am not qualified for using this. You know? If you act, then you will fall prey to sense gratification. You will only get lost. What is the loss for authorities? Service, somebody will come and do. So we should not reject, but under guidance. Radhesham Prabhu used to tell, internet using that time, temple hall में ही internet use करना है, कोई भौतिक चीज use करना है, among devotees in front of authorities we can use, no problem. Some devotees in front. Spiritual master must never be carried away by accumulation of wealth or large number of followers. That is a danger for Guru also. Because when people, he is using Yukta Vairagya for people preaching, for engaging people in bhakti. So he should not be carried away by Dhanam and Janam. A bona fide spiritual master will never become like that. But sometimes if a spiritual master is not properly authorized and only on his own initiative becomes a spiritual master, he may be carried away by accumulation of wealth and large number of disciples. हमारा शत्रु 3 ही है, धनम जनम सुंदरी. These 3 are the enemies. If you don't engage under guidance of Guru, three things, then these 3 will kill your devotion. If Guru tells us to accumulate wealth, okay. If Guru tells us to accumulate followers, okay. If Guru tells us to get married, okay. Otherwise, he is not very high grade of devotional service. If a person is carried away by such achievements, then his devotional service becomes slackened. One should therefore strictly adhere to the principles of disciplic succession. So on account of being highly elevated in Krishna consciousness, he has already acquired the good qualities and is following the rules and regulations are prescribed for the mystic process. Bhakti में strong रहना चाहिए. Bhakti में strong. Otherwise, you will be lost. Such rules are automatically practiced by devotees. For example, non-violence. Are devotees non-violent or violent? You know? A devotee is naturally non-violent and therefore does not have to practice non-violence separately. You know? So some people seek purification of by joining a vegetarian movement, but a devotee is automatically a vegetarian. It does not need practice separately in this matter to join any society for vegetarianism. He is automatically vegetarian. Therefore, many other instances showing that devotee need not practice anything but Krishna consciousness. Only Krishna consciousness we should practice. All good qualities of the demigods automatically will develop within. Those who are intentionally practicing to be vegetarian or to become non-violent may have good qualifications by material estimation, but these qualifications are not sufficient to make them devotees. Even if a devotee is non-violent, even if a devotee is violent, but eventually will become non-violent. But non-violent people cannot become to devotee. Vegetarianism is not necessarily a devotee. Vegetarian is not necessarily a devotee, nor is a non-violent person a devotee. But a devotee is automatically both vegetarian and non-violent. We must conclude, therefore, that vegetarianism and non-violence is not the cause of devotion. This is the conclusion. Parvata Muni says. Parvata Muni by Mrugari past time. Can you read this green part?
Aman Prabhu, continue.
Parvata Muni, a friend of Narada's, saw the wonderful transformation of the hunter by devotional service and remarked, "My dear hunter, your unwillingness to kill even an ant is not very astonishing. Any person who develops the devotional attitude has all the good qualities automatically manifested in his person. A devotee is never a cause of distress to anyone."
No. See, my dear hunter, your unwillingness to kill even an ant is not a very astonishing. Any person who develops devotional attitude has all good qualities automatically manifested in his person. And devotee will never cause distress to others. So Parvata Muni is telling this is not a great astonishment. He has bhakti, so he must be non-violent. He will become non-violent. No? Not that there is so great of a non-violence. Rupa Goswami affirms here in purification of consciousness, purification of bodily activity, austerities, peace of mind, etc. all become automatically manifest in a person who is engaged in devotional service. If you follow determinedly devotional service, then all these things eventually you will get everything. But if your focus is something different, then out, fall down. Okay? Each and every one of these processes is so powerful that if anyone follows even one single one of them, he can achieve the desired perfection without fail. For example, if one is attached simply to hearing about the Lord and another is attached to the chanting of the glories of the name, both will achieve their desired goal in devotional service. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this has been explained. One may execute 1, 2, 3, all of the different process of devotional service. And at ultimate, he will achieve the desired goal of being established in devotional service. And examples, Prabhupada Rupa Goswami is quoting, Parikshit Maharaj, Ekanga, Shravanam se Shuddha Bhakti bol gaya. Sukdev Goswami, Ekanga, Kirtanam. Prahlad Maharaj, Ekanga, by remembrance. And Lakshmi Ekanga, that is by serving the lotus feet. Akrura Ekanga Bhakti, by offering prayers. Arjuna Ekanga Bhakta, by becoming successfully a friend of Krishna. Bali Maharaj Ekanga Bhakti, became successfully by offering his possession to Krishna. There are also examples of devotees who discharged all the different items together. This is Anekanga Bhakti, that is Ambarish Maharaj. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vacham Sivaikuntha gunanu varnani pado harikshetra padanu sarpane. That whole. So engaging all different limbs. He engaged in all different limbs. Anekam. Then he got complete. His engagement was always completely in Krishna consciousness. This idea is the idea is that we should follow in footsteps of great devotees. If we are unable to execute all different items of devotional service, we must try to execute at least one of them, as exemplified by previous acharyas. If we are engaged in execution of all the items of devotional service as Maharaj Ambarish, then the process of devotional service is guaranteed from each one of these items. So with the first complete engagement, one becomes automatically detached from material contamination. Liberation becomes made servant of the devotee. Mukti will follow you. You don't need to go behind mukti, liberation. This is the Rupa Goswami says that regulative principles of devotional service are sometimes described by authorities as path of serving the Lord in opulence. If one develops unalloyed devotion to the Lord, liberation will follow the devotees as his maid servant. Okay? Hare Krishna. Sorry, little 7 minutes late. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow we will continue 15th chapter. Any doubts? We can ask today or tomorrow also. Can we continue, bro? Today or tomorrow we can ask. Start with question. 8:22.
Maybe tomorrow, Prabhuji, because I don't know
Tomorrow,
about Zoom utilization. Yeah.
tomorrow you all can ask questions, sir. Any doubts regarding, because this is very important part of NOD. If you neglect, then we may be sidetracked by side items. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Sure.
Shri Bhakti
Thank you.
Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai.
Thank you, Pooja.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.